Yeah, her energy looks rich. I mean, when I'm working on it right now, it's white, but it's just like dry, white, chalky, you know, blobby. But real controlling. It's like what she believes, she thinks everybody should. And it's like she's really got your crown chakra just kind of all plugged up with her energy. Yeah, I think it's a mixture of her energy and her mother's. It's yeah, in fact, as I start getting her energy out, I see some programming underneath it from your grandmother. And it's programming about women having to like keep in line and be chaste and, you know, all this kind of stuff. You have a contract with her still in your head that was put there when you were a little tiny girl, that with your grandmother, and it's that she can do anything she wants to help you stay pure. Kind of like hires her to be like your, almost like a guard dog, you know, to make sure you don't do anything wrong and to keep you pure, you know. And it kind of gives her like the right to enforce the family laws. So you need to avoid and burn that contract. And there's another contract in there. This may be why with your mother, it's kind of the same contract to enforce the family laws. She has a right to do anything to help you stay good. And it gives her a right to kind of control you, basically. And all in the name of goodness and purity. Now how are you feeling, Cindy? Almost stable? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like you just call in your higher self. Ask that your own higher self come in and help you fill those places that have been cleaned out with your own spirit's energy so that no one else may ever come in with it. Just kind of work with me right now and work on that. There's another contract there with your mother that she owns your body. Yeah, it's like having given birth to it that she controls you. Like the part of your spirit that's in the body can like feels like it can never feel like you really own it for yourself, but she owns it because she gave birth to you. Yeah, that's a good word for it. So gives me the warm willies, actually. So let's cancel, tear, and burn that contract that she owns, that she has a right to control you, that she owns you. How old are you? I just got that message. That's so funny. Have you ever had your chart done? You're going through Saturn Return. Do you know what that is? Gosh. Huh? No, it's a 28, 29-year cycle. You're just going through it for the first time in your life. And when Saturn comes back to the position it was in when you were born, it's the most challenging, fearful time you probably go through in your whole life. And what it does is challenges you to look at every belief and every programming that's there and really figure out what's yours, what belongs to other people. It's the time when people start kicking beings out of their space. It's the time when a lot of fear of taking over for yourself. It's like the point in life where you really go through the clearing the house so that between age 30 and 35 you can emotionally mature and become a parent to yourself. So you're going, no wonder, it's like I'm looking through this stuff and I keep seeing this image of Saturn and the rings of Saturn. She's got to be 29. Go get a book and read about Saturn Return. Because, yes. Well, it's one of the most challenging times of a person's life. I mean, there's different phases we go through at different ages, but like when I hit Saturn Return, I almost committed suicide. But instead, I ended up having my spiritual awakening. It was one of those things where the way my life had been had to completely die and start all over in a new way that worked for me, or I wasn't willing to stay on the earth, you know. And so basically what I did was kind of like what you're doing right now. I just kicked everybody out, had a spiritual awakening, had a whole new way of looking at life, and said no to the way I'd been brought up, and started for the first time examining the possibilities that I was really okay, and that I didn't have anybody to help me with it. It was just sort of like do or die, which is what it really amounted to. Except I have to say the one thing that really got me starting looking at the possibilities of change was that simple book, I'm Okay, You're Okay. Yeah, and it was like somebody gave me that book. It was like, wow, really? You know, that was a new concept to me. I mean, but it's a very intense time, and it's real important. Like, do you know your birth chart at all? Do you know your rising sign, your ascendant, and your sun signs? The sun sign, you're Gemini with Leo rising. Okay, and do you know? Let me see. She wouldn't have Saturn right now. I'm trying to remember who it is. I can't remember where it is right now. You know, you might even want to consider, there's a woman here in Mount Shasta that does the best astrology readings of anyone I've ever known. She charges $75, but she does like a 2.5, 3 hour reading. She does your birth chart. She does your, what they call progress chart, which is like what's happening now. And she does your transits, and she does the goddess aspects, and Chiron, which is really, really important. And if she does the reading in person, it was like, mine was like over 4 hours. So they run anywhere from like 2.5 to over 4 hours long. If she's just giving it to you on a tape, it might be a little shorter than that on tape, but then you can always call her and ask her questions about it. So if you would like her phone number, right now you need it. and just tell her that you need the whole works, and including the goddess stuff, because you have a lot of female issues. And you're working at, it's like all your past life stuff is up right now. It's like, why does she have so much going on at once? And I kept seeing rings of Saturn. So anyway, her name is Taryn, Taryn, Riffey, Riffey. And her phone number is 916-938-1569. She is just a sweetheart. Tell her you got her name and number from me, and that you'd like to get your astrology chart done, and to know if after you get it and listen to it, if you have questions, if you can call her and ask her about it on the phone. You know, set up like a phone consultation time, so that when you get the tapes and you listen to them, if you've got any more questions, that you can call her about it. Okay? She's just wonderful. And she's very, very clairvoyant and very spiritual. She's done a lot of work on herself. She's a really good person. But I've been getting readings done for years, and when she did my chart, it was like, I finally got what I've been looking for. Like, I don't feel like I need anyone else to read my chart anymore. Every time I get an astrology reading, I think, well, God, I really want to get one more reading, I think, you know? And when I got hers, it was like, that's the only one I need. And what's Guy's age? He's past that, isn't he? He's getting ready for a group of transits he needs to know about too. In about another year, he's going to be hitting what's called the Uranus opposition and the Pluto square. And that starts a real difficult time, but it can be, if you go through it consciously, it can be one that's just real empowering. So he might want to sometime in the next year get his done too, so that he can know kind of, it's not like saying you're sealed to go through this misery during this time. It's like once you know what it's about, then you know what you need to work with it, you know. Yeah. Most people, who go through that, not most, but a lot of people who go through like their Saturn return, or who go through the aspects your husband's coming up on in the next like year to 2 years. Those are the times in people's life where relationships tend to fall apart because they just can't endure the pressure of what the person's going through. But when the people know it and they work together on it, then they can do it. Because basically, you're going to finish your Saturn return, and he's going to start his Pluto square Uranus opposition. So you're going to just start getting stabilized and work on really owning your emotional body when he's going to be going into this other aspect, which is pushing him to look at all the things he hasn't done in his life that he thought he would have by now. So, yeah. So it's kind of important that you guys can get some understandings of it, and that he can listen to your chart, you can listen to his, and you'll just know more of what's going on with the person so you don't take it so personally. It really can help. So anyway, let's go back. But it's amazing. Just talking about this is clearing so much for you. It's sort of like you're saying, oh my God, I'm not crazy. Well, I can let this go and that go and that go. It's really good. Yeah, I know. Well, people have been known to have nervous breakdowns during Saturn return. Yeah. And it's like the new's not there yet, and the old's not gone. But you don't know what the new is. You don't believe in the old. There's nothing to hold on to. It's just, yeah. And it's typical to be changing professions during that time, to move, to have relationship changes happen, or really go through a struggle in them where they change in some way. People's whole identity changes during that time. Now, Cindy, say your name again for me. Okay. Now, what I'm being told to work on with you a little bit before we finish tonight is some past life stuff you have going on in your first and second chakra. Got some past life sexual abuse stuff. It's funny, one of them is about, it's kind of back in the days of the settlers, when wagon trains were going across to the west and things like that. And it looks like you were a young girl. Your family kind of arranged this marriage for you to this older man. And then right after you married him, he decides to take off with you cross country. And you're out on this, you're on a wagon train and you're going across new country with this strange man that you really don't know and not even sure you like. And he starts becoming kind of abusive. He's going around with other women. And you start confronting him on what's happening, he starts becoming very violent with you. And you don't enjoy sex with him. He starts really forcing himself. There's a lot of like, but at that time, it was never considered rape if it was your husband, even if it was brutal. And it looks like he raped you many times. And really aggressive, brutal, past life energy is just going right into your second chakra. Let's see. It looks like the man who was your husband in that lifetime is the father, or the guy's father. McMillan? Yeah. Mm-hmm. You did that? Glenda. Were you ever like afraid of him sexually? He raped you many, many times. He even caused you to have a miscarriage once by raping you very brutally. It looks like what happened is your family actually gave you to him in marriage to get him to write off some debt that they owed him. It's called a manipulator. I mean, it's like they're saying, well, we can't pay you this debt, and he's being more threatening, and when he sees this, like, pretty young daughter, he says, well, I'll take your daughter. Kind of went along with it because they didn't think they had any other choice. Because you see something in him that he tries to hide very carefully. But he doesn't like it because you kind of bust the family denial game, because you see it. He really hurt you. I mean, I'm seeing once on this wagon train in which he came after you and you tried to run from him and he caught you. And just, I mean, I see him like stomping you with his feet and crushing bones. And he didn't kill you, but you were like unconscious and like unable to walk for a long time, and he was punished for that. It looks like they kicked him out of the wagon train. And they told him that he didn't have any right to kick him out, without his wife. He tried to take you and they stopped him. And they threatened to kill him if he tried to ever touch you again. And he kind of has this like contract with you to get even with you. And even though you didn't exactly agree to it, somehow you believed it was true. It was kind of like the same kind of thing with his girl's mother. Is that your fear kind of made you agree, So I'd like you to see this contract where he has a right to get even with you because of being kicked off of his wagon train and you're not going with him. It's like that he'll get you back because he owns you. And he'll get revenge and he'll get you back and he owns you. It's kind of all built into one contract. With your mind. Well, it's obviously one of your issues that you've really got to learn to transform in this life. is a cord from him into your telepathic channels, which are located in the ear channels. Let me just clean that up. You were crippled the rest of that life. And you never married, you never even spent any time with a man the rest of that life. And even though there was a man who was really loving in the town that you ended up in, that was settled in, but you were so terrified of men, you didn't want anything to do with any of them after that. The other thing that I see you still in the process of learning from that lifetime is how to allow a man to have anger if he's dealing with it in a responsible way. There's a part of you that kind of like, and what I'm seeing is even with Guy, like tries to suppress his anger through your fear. And there's a need for you to learn, even to have experiences of seeing a man be angry and not harm you. Do you know what I mean? Like you need to learn that men who are being conscious also have anger, but that they won't use it against other people. You know? And so it's very, very important in your relationship with God that if he has any kind of anger and frustration coming up, even if you need to put a little extra aura protection up and everything, to let him know, well, yeah, I may have some fear reaction, but I don't want you to hold back. I want you to tell me the truth. I want you to express yourself, you know. And to practice learning how to stay in confidence even when he's feeling angry. Or if it brings up grief and fear, to let yourself feel it and express it and not try to run away from it. Because sometimes what you'll want to do then is kind of like, stop what's going on with the other person so you don't have to feel the reaction to it, you know. And it's very important that you break that pattern, because a lot of it, see, it's keeping you in a victim role, because the basic thing that's anchored in there is your sense that you can't survive if another person is having heavy emotions around you. In fact, this is going to seem a little bit funny, but one of the things that would be a good practice for you to do, probably not tonight, but maybe sometime in the next few days, would be to ask Guy, I keep saying Glenn, ask Guy if he'd be willing to sit down with you, right, you know, and tell you, even if he's not feeling angry in the moment, ask him to go inside and find 2 things that he's angry about. One with somebody else, and one with you, okay? Now, even if he knows the one with you is not a justified anger, like it's totally irrational, he doesn't believe in it, but he still has the feeling, tell him, I need to learn that I can trust you and survive when you have anger going on. So if he's willing, I mean, he has to be willing to do this too, ask him to tell you 2 things he's angry about, and to express those feelings. And I want you to sit there and really stay in your center and just listen. And as he's telling you to really listen and hear him and think about, well, now why would he feel that way, instead of taking it personally, okay? And so, and to tell him, you know, now, you know, whether you believe in the anger or not, or whether I think it's justified or not. All I want you to do is just tell me what it's about. And then afterward, if you guys need to discuss it, fine. But the main thing is, it's just important for you to know that people can have anger, that they don't have to be invested in the anger, but that it's a natural emotion to come up sometimes. If things aren't going just the way you like it, we tend to get angry. Even if we totally understand what's going on with the other person, even if we totally love them and don't blame them, there's still some part of us that can feel anger about it. See what I mean? So are you willing to do that with him? Great. And then, if you want to do it the other way around, you can do it too. To tell him something you're angry at someone else about and something you have anger with him about. And then just asking him to just listen. And that the basic thing that each of you do while you're listening is to try and come from a standpoint of, well, I know I'm a good person, and whether this person has a right to feel angry or not, I don't have to feel guilty. Even if they have a good reason to be angry with me, I still don't have to feel guilty. All I'm doing is saying, I love you, and I know that if you have feelings, that you need to express them, whether they're justified or not. And that's the only purpose in it, is just to express it, you know? Okay? And that'll help you a lot in your own sense of, like, you've got a lot of work to do on developing a sense of confidence and strength in your ability to handle whatever's going on. And learning to do that with somebody that you trust can be a real good starting point with that. And there's some other past life stuff in there that's really to kind of clean out where it was concerned. That's just really so similar. It's a lifetime where he actually bought you as a slave and used you as a sexual slave too. Like I see this one scene with in a barn, and he catches you in there, and he just sort of pulls his pants down, throws you down on the ground, and just sort of, rapes you right there on the spot, and gets up and leaves, and there's not even any talking in it, you know. Quite a karmic connection, I think. Have you ever felt fear being caught alone with him? What's your right ovary feeling now? Because that's mostly where I'm feeling this past life. I've just got got the word from the guides that you're hitting saturation level for tonight and we have to stop. Are you feeling that? Yeah, I just said, okay, that's it. Time to close up shop here. So I'm going to go next to the Akashic Records and get ready to close out. Is that okay? You need more playtime. Do you like to do things like build snowmen and things like that? Have you been taking time for that kind of stuff? Yeah, it doesn't sound really good. Find things to do that are playful. It's like you just need a little more of that in your life right now. It's just kind of nice messages looking at. Okay.